Yeah, money. Money is cool.
Aren't you ashamed?
10-6-9er, we got whores on the city. We need backup now.
Don't be so dang literal.
Well, you've got one heck of a nerve.
Oh my God! The government is here! Run!
Hey, barkeep, whose leg do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here?
Ich bin ein Springfielder.
Shut the hell up. I've got the strangest feeling someone's gonna kick his ass.
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman. Well, don't do it, Cartman. Well, I'm warning you. Okay.
Hello, peasants.
Wanna kill all humans?
Work there, dude.
We'd like some money. Yeah, money. Money is cool.
Aren't you ashamed?
We got whores on the city. We need backup now.
Don't be so dang literal.
Well, you've got one heck of a nerve.
Oh my God! The government is here! Run!
Hey, barkeep, whose leg do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here?
Ich bin ein Springfielder.
Shut the hell up. I've got the strangest feeling someone's gonna kick his ass.
All right, everybody, we're here. We're live. We're here on YouTube. You know, we're doing it.
Yes.
We're here on Wednesday for the first time in forever.
In literally forever, James.
And it almost wasn't going to happen because you switched it on me twice this week, but we made it.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm nothing if not inconsistent.
I mean, that's our show. So, and it's still the holidays. You know, I still count it as, you know, holiday shit.
Our whole existence since July has been holiday shit. It feels like. I'm just happy we haven't yet missed a Saturday.
Somehow, yeah.
Somehow is truth. Somehow is truth. But James, what has been going on in Brooklyn the past week?
I mean, not so much because I've been away in North Carolina with the fam, as always.
That's right. How was Thanksgiving with family?
I mean, it's great, you know, because I got a big Irish family, so what do you think we do? We just fucking get drunk for like 3-4 days straight.
From the time you show up until you get on the plane
I'm
back.
not even like, it's like kind of kidding, but like, yes. Like, it's like,
To say when you land they hand you a drink is not like, that's not fibbing. That's not playing a little bit.
no.
It's like you get
I
off
literally
the plane.
got to my, my parents, my grandparents. So my aunt has a beautiful house up in the mountains, in North Carolina. Also, there's videos for us. I'm trying to fix it, but we're still live and the audio's working, so I'm gonna keep going with it. But yeah, so my aunt has this amazing house up in the mountains up there, and it's really fucking cool. And she's actually selling it, so it actually might be our last Thanksgiving up in the mountains. But it's a
shit.
small town, so but I literally show up, and within the first 5 minutes, someone hands me like just this glass of wine, and that just becomes what we're doing. And then I just start drinking glasses of wine with them, and then suddenly my cousins want to do fucking Irish car bombs, and someone's got Guinness somewhere, and we're just dumping whiskey into into Guinness within literally the first hour that I'm there. Because now all my cousins are 21. My youngest cousin literally just turned 21.
Oh, so now it's officially a family affair.
I don't have to sneak my cousin into bars anymore because we used to do that.
What'd you do? Like what do you call it? Like you'd circle them, right?
Well,
You'd circle.
it was easier, especially at this where my aunt lives right now, because we'd be with my uncle and my aunt and my other uncle and shit, and like since we're with adults, the pubs don't necessarily are gonna check everyone's. They're like, oh, you're with these old people, like you're definitely over 21. So we were able to sneak my cousin drinks a lot easier because my
Nice.
uncle, who was like 50, 60 years old, would just buy the drinks, and they're not going to question that guy.
Yeah, he's going in. He's getting 2 drinks. He goes back to the table. He's just being a nice guy,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the whole idea.
But now we get to go to actual bars and with my cousin, and I get to just order him drinks without having to hide it.
Now he can go and buy 2 drinks.
Yeah.
That's what your uncle was doing, was like stacking the tab in his favor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that he's 21, it's like, you go buy the drinks.
You guys.
Get us both the drinks. That's what you do now.
Oh man, I'm still trying to. There we go. We're back. All right. Yeah.
Well, we freeze and freeze again, man. Like
I know. I thought I was drunk, but apparently my computer is also drunk. So, but we are here. We're moving. We're alive. Yeah. So it was a blast. I love getting drunk with the fam. And actually, I guess it's not too much to talk about here, but my cousin. So I never talked about this because I'm never gonna be that nepotism bitch and like just hire people because they're related to me. I ain't no Gwyneth Paltrow, whatever the lady is from fucking Full House. Whoever.
That is not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, I'm saying Gwyneth Paltrow and the lady from Full House that I don't remember her name.
Lori Loughlin,
Yeah,
right?
that fucking hoe. Who like paid to have her kid through fucking college. So my cousin wanted to get into acting, and I was like, sign up for Backstage, figure it out, apply for some shit, whatever. So he just did it all on his own, nothing with me at all, nothing. And last time I saw him, he was like, man, I kind of hate this. I was just working with a bunch of shitty directors, working on some shitty stuff, and he was just like getting a little down. I mean, I was like, dude, it's a grind. You just gotta keep at it. That's. People like to bitch and be like, oh, why do you bitch about being on film sets, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, fucking, because you deal with fucking these piece of shits, and like, you work on it, and then tell me why you complained. But, so my cousin who's working on it, who has his own full-time gig. I mean, my cousin is actually, like, he's not an architect, but he works in construction somewhere in the higher up between being an architect and the guy who builds shit. I don't know what it is, but But anyway, long story short, he gets a gig actually as an extra on a pilot. And like, but a featured extra, and enough where he's like actually like he's in a bunch of shots and gets to say a line or two. And like the premiere happened that same weekend, so he got to show it to us, and it was sick, man. It was like nice to like. It's also hilarious that the same family that would give me shit for, you know, being like, oh yeah, congrats on, you know, whatever your movie. Then my cousin gets an extra role on a fucking pilot. Suddenly everyone's got to crowd around the fireplace and.
So it's like that is kind of funny. I do think it's great that he went out, sought it out on his own. And arguably is already more successful than you, who's been pounding out this stuff for.
All right, he hasn't made that much money. All right, I've still got.
You're still ahead in the paycheck, right? Like that's the deal.
But it is amazing. I said I do love it because now I feel like I can have him audition for something I'm doing and not have to be some weird nepotism person to be like, oh, get my cousin in this. But like, no, he's got credits now. You know, he's worked his way through shitty fucking shorts that he hated to finally get something good. Like, you know, he worked his way.
That's good. He's paying dues. He's doing it right. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I never get out of that phase. Never get out of that phase.
And then, you know, I play Portrait of Payback afterwards. Then my family just clears the room. So, no, they were there. They watched it, but it was a little laggy. So it didn't play as awesome as I hoped it would because our internet sucks. And shout out to I have a Spanish aunt. You know, my uncle married a Dominican lady, and she did not have high praise to Reese's Spanish. But she still laughed a few times, so I think it worked.
As long as they laugh a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, like one or two tiny laughs.
Yeah. She laughed at things I had no idea what he was saying, but she got it.
It's all that matters, James. That is all that matters.
So yeah, I partied with the fam, ate some good food. It was a good Thanksgiving. You know, my grandmother, she's 86 years old, so it's nice to see her, and she still tries to take care of me, yelling at me that I don't dress warm enough, you know?
That's wild. My dad is almost as old as your grandmother. It's insane. It's insane.
Is your dad in his 80s?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Dad's like 83, gonna be 84.
Yeah, no, not to sound morbid, but, you know, the 80s is like a weird age because it's like you're like kicking and you definitely like, you're like, oh, I got years left in me. But then you don't. You know?
But it's a roll of the die to know how many.
Yeah. And actually, which is crazy because my grandmother, he was my old neighbor when I used to live with my grandmother. Right. Fuck, actually don't. His name is John. I don't remember his last name. Sorry. His name is John, but he just died at 98 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Isn't that wild?
It is insane. It is insane. We have Dwayne State real quick. We'll put a pen in morbidity. We'll put a pen in it real quick. Tonight with us we have, of course, Dwayne Steele, the Whiplash Maniac.
Yeah, the star of Portrait of Payback.
Editor to the stars, Sabrina Mendoza is also in the chat.
Oh, Sabrina's in here, man. That's sick.
Yes,
hope you're having a good time editing this masterpiece.
I owe Sabrina notes tonight, so she's busting my balls in here, which is wonderful because that's what I'm doing after this.
I feel horrible because I'm also a little drunk right now. But last time I got drunk with Sabrina, I may have been a little mean with my notes. And I sent Sabrina a whole message later, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean. I don't like being mean that way.
That's hysterical. No, you actually made mention of that to me, which I think is very funny.
Because I don't like being mean about indie movies, but sometimes you watch something and
No, but it's also this is a wonderful thing. So we've been talking a lot about it, and I've got I've got Curse of the Were-Deer in Portland tonight, as people will listen to this on Spotify. Tonight, December 7th, in Portland, Oregon. So if you're there, show up. And Sabrina says you should be mean. But this is the idea. The first cut of anything that you see is the worst cut.
Yeah.
It's how the movie looks bad. And it's
Martin
from there that you
Scorsese says he
change.
cries every time he watches a first cut of his movie because he thinks he made the worst thing ever.
So I started listening to the show
Because
and I talked a
Lloyd
little bit.
Kaufman and Martin Scorsese, they're about the same, level.
I would say entirely. When we got the first cut of Were-Deer, I literally wanted to kill myself. like I thought suicide was a better option. But it's always the worst your stuff is going to look. It's the worst it's going to be. It's what you build on. Like that's the whole idea, is you have to start somewhere. So you start there.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. First cut of Portrait of Payback, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. What did I do?
Yeah. Even the first cut of Mita's Murder was 8 minutes long, and I was like, fuck. What do I do with this?
Well, it's also one of those things where at least you were doing it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Where at least you were doing it yourself.
I don't have an angry, senior citizen yelling at me.
Well,
About why are all
that.
these extras in this movie?
And then, because you put them there? No, I didn't. Who's level checking me? No, you said put everybody in, so we did. Well, what are they supposed
Literally
to do?
everyone.
Well, I mean, now let's put a giant CGI truck in front of them. But that's the idea of editing and growth, right? Like move bits and pieces around, play with things, find other stuff. There are still pieces of the first few cuts of Were-Deer that exist where they should. But it's one of those things too, where it's the editor gets to play with it once assembly's done, and once you're into full blown
I
rough
don't
cut.
show people with Portrait of Payback. I edited the first cut. I didn't show anybody until I got to at least 3 more cuts deep.
Right.
Because I knew where I was at, and I mean, even when I edited some first things, and I was putting some things as there's the amazing shot in the movie that people love to talk about is when Dwayne dodges a bullet in slow motion. The first effect that I had in it was awful, but I put it there as just a placeholder, just be like, yeah, this is where I was gonna do it. And Bergio watched it and was just like, what the fuck is this, dude? What is... I'm like, no, it's just a placeholder, I swear. It's not...
Yup. And that's the thing. I don't know. You should show it along the way to people. I do believe that. And then there's also another part of me that it's don't show anybody anything ever. Never. You'll never make anybody happy.
Otherwise,
ever.
you see a test screening, 3 years in advance for a movie that also never comes out. So,
bro, you don't even know. You don't even know. Sabrina says it's all placeholders and it's all subjective. Exactly. The world is a placeholder tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
The world is a placeholder. But yeah, okay. So partied with the family, had a good Thanksgiving, got back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And you've been hanging out.
Yeah, Brooklyn's
just drinking
been chill
there too, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my local bar, probably, man. Best happy hour out of any place in the fucking city, dude. Every drink from 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. is buy one, get one. I walked out
That's insane.
spending $10.
And had 57 drinks.
Yeah. 3 shots and fucking like 4 beers. It's amazing, dude.
That is not bad. That is not a bad deal. And they see you coming, and they're like, "Here he is again. He knows where to be."
And the bar is chill, man. They love playing movies there, so I love to like talk shit about the movie they're playing, and then they like will like change it and put on something better. There was one time they're playing actually like Yu-Gi-Oh, like the animated movie, and then I'm like talking to the bartender, and I was like, "Hey, I know you like Van Damme movies, right?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Come on, you got to put on some fucking Van Damme movie." And then like this other dude from across the bar just goes, "Do they got Hard Target?" And I was like, "Yeah, do they got Hard Target?" And then like I rallied the bar to like get the bartender to go put on, see if they had Hard Target, and they had it on Tubi, and then the whole bar fucking lit up, and it was like, yeah.
That's amazing. That's the fact that you can simply request the movie. You know what I mean? Next time, have them put on like Hard Ticket to Hawaii or something. You know what I'm saying?
They do it. They definitely
I'm sure
do it.
they would. Like, and also a great movie.
That is great. That's the one with the snake that explodes, right? They got the giant snake out of the toilet.
And the frisbee with the razor blades that chops off the guy's hand.
Yeah,
Chops off his fingers.
Shout out to Big Dan, who got me to watch that movie, because he was the one who kept talking about it. And I was like, "I never seen it." He's like, "You gotta watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii." And immediately it was like a bunch of just topless bikini chicks in like a hot tub talking about how they're gonna solve the case.
In the first, like, that's how you get them. That's still like the biggest mistake I think we made in Curse of the Weird. Is we have that cold open on the Hunters,
Yeah.
and no boobies.
There should have been a bunch of just topless chicks in a hot tub talking about how they're gonna hunt some deer.
That's gonna be the sequel, James. That's the whole sequel. That's it.
Still to
That's
this
it.
day, what my favorite trauma opening ever is?
What?
It's not even my favorite trauma movie either, but it's Return to Nukem High, Volume 2. And it's that opening where it's like the slow dolly shot, like through the shower scene of what's just naked ladies just dancing in the shower. Just
You know what
full
that is,
frontal.
right? You know what movie that is.
Is it Carrie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. What 100% that is Carrie. The movie,
But it's
Carrie
done in that
opens-
like actual fun trauma way, when trauma's actually smart and they're like good at what they do, and like that's like that opening sums up why I love trauma, because it goes through this like naked shower and then to Catherine giving birth to this weird thing, and it's like that's trauma. Everyone just full frontal and then someone giving birth.
That's I mean, it is perfection. Not gonna lie, that is perfect. On that note,
How was your Thanksgiving, Ben? Did you get any full frontal nudity?
no. No. We went over to my pops. I'd been working this seasonal gig, right? Doing like photo booth on the riverboat in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you and your old lady come up, you want to go have dinner and see a show on the boat. Like, I take your photo as you go in. Here's your ticket. Hold on to it later. We'll show them
Wait,
to
do
you
you
before the
watch
show.
do you watch Adam Ray's like Dr. Phil show at all?
No,
It's hilarious, first off, but because I just showed this to my cousins, 'cause they put out a clip. They had Jason Biggs on as like part of his guest, and then they bring out the pie from American Pie. And it's this dude in this big pie costume or whatever, and he's just like talking to him. He was like, "I haven't talked to you in a while," and he's like, "I'm sorry, I've been so distant," And then he starts like caressing the pie's face, and it was like, I'm sorry, I you know, I've abandoned you for this long. He's like, it's okay. It's okay. And then the fucking, like, they start standing, the curtain behind them opens up, and this mattress comes out covered in roses. And then the lead singer of Goo Goo Dolls comes out and starts singing, like, the song, you know? If I give up forever to touch you, right? And then, like, the Jason Briggs just starts making out with the pie. Have you not seen this? I'm gonna send it to you later because
Send that to me because that is hysterical.
it is the best thing I've ever seen in my life, and it made me actually watch the Dr. Phil show a lot. But I showed it to my cousins on Thanksgiving, and then like my one cousin didn't see it after I just played it like a minute after, and I was like, "Well, we're watching it again."
I mean, James, look, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, right? Like, sometimes they have to.
When you're just
see
like
things.
making out with the pie, they start doing like 69ing on the stage. It's insane.
What?
All to the Google Dolls like playing right behind them. I dream to make this show like an ounce as funny as that.
Well, with that, I've been on this cruise boat, like selling ugly people ugly pictures of themselves, right?
Nice.
Right. Well, sort of. Let's just say there have been more than a couple of things in a very short amount of time that just kind of like chapped my ass in a way that like I couldn't unchap it. So
Chap your ass like Mike Tyson's chapless ass.
No, like chap my ass, like pissed me off, made me chafy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it made my butt cheek sore.
That butt rash.
So I quit. I quit bigger than shit this morning, and it was very nice.
Did you moon him? Be like, look at my chapped ass, and just smack it.
No, but I did. I did go into so. The managers don't even like work on site. They work in
pussies.
part of the Gaylord entertainment area, right? Gaylords.
Fucking
they all are
gays.
a bunch of Gaylords.
They're fucking pussies that don't understand hard work, you know? They're just, we'll get all these fucks to work for us, you fucking
So
pricks,
here's the deal,
pussy-ass
though.
bitches.
So they'd booked me on a double. We were supposed to have, and this is the one that broke my back, right? They booked me a double, which is fine. I'm down with a double all day. That's cool. I live like 45 minutes away from there, so it doesn't make sense for me to go home in the 2-hour break between the thing, right? Between the two cruises. So I hang out either in the mall or in the parking lot. Like, I just chill out, okay? So
smoke a blunt, you know?
well, last night, this happened literally yesterday, and I quit this morning. I was like, you guys are stupid. So actually, I quit last night on the way home, but I took them back.
Did you spray paint, i.e. pussy, like in Clerks 2, on the side of the wall?
We have these shirts that we have to wear. We have the, the little like photo company logo, right? And then they give us jackets because it's 20 degrees outside or whatever. So here's what ends up happening. Fucking, I wait the 2 hours. I'm getting ready to go in for the evening shift. The boat is locked up. There's no lights on it. You can't even get down the gangplank to get onto the boat because they've got like 3 measures of security to keep you from getting there. So there's a lock gate. Then there's like a roll-up garage door.
Yeah, a lot of
and
security
then they also,
for this.
huh?
A lot of security going on for.
And then they also had the final little plank like up, right? So you couldn't get onto the boat. Nobody was there. It's 10 minutes after the shift is supposed to have started. I'm
think
outside.
Someone's gonna 9/11 this boat or something. What's going on,
dude? If only somebody would. I don't want to advocate any additional 9/11s, but whatever.
If you're gonna do a 9/11, do it on this boat.
Go to the General Jackson. Like,
if you're gonna do a 9/11, go to the General Jackson. Yell Allah Akbar and
Gaylord Entertainment. So That is what it's called. I really don't care.
Is that actually the name?
Yes, it's Gaylord Entertainment. It's a Opryland or the Opryland Hotel, Gaylord Entertainment. I swear to God. So anyway, and the General Jackson's all part of it, right? So anyway. I wait.
That's why
there
it
the 2
sucks
hours.
so much.
I get there. I get ready to go and get to the boat. I can't get on the boat. My shift is starting. And then 10 minutes later, I get a call from the supervisor I was working with that night saying that, the managers misscheduled us. There is no nighttime cruise. And I was like, well, this is stupid. And I was like, I sat in the fucking parking lot. Now, granted, I had fun. I listened to some podcasts.
You got paid for. I mean, I love getting paid to do nothing. That's
I wasn't
favorite of
at
mine.
this point in time. That's the thing. This was my downtime between the 2 shifts. Right?
I'll talk about Swine Lake all day.
So, but what I'm saying is, bro, I sat there for the 2 hours between the 2 shifts. I'm not paid for that time. That's me time, right?
Yeah.
Like my first shift's 10 to 3, second shift is 5 to 10, but I can't go home because it's too far away. Doesn't make any sense. Burn up all my gas. All right. 10 minutes into the second shift, 5:10, I get a phone call from the supervisor saying, there's no
all I'm pitching
nighttime
is
cruise
John Brennan
tonight.
being like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. What's with this time frame? It doesn't make any sense. And so then they're like, what is it they tell me? They're like, you'll get paid for the first hour. Sorry about that. And I'm like, what about the 2 that I sat there? What about the time I could have been at home? What about the time I could have been giving Sabrina her notes?
Yeah.
Like, what about? Do you
I got
see
a
what I'm
movie
saying?
I'm producing. What about that fucking time?
What about any of this? No, they don't care. That's the thing. So this morning I got up nice and early, and I got their little jacket, which it took them 3 weeks to get to me, even though it was a requirement. Even if it was, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
So like I get their little jacket, I get their little shirt, and then I just go up to the manager and I tell him that he runs a garbage operation. I want and
then you like whipped your dick out and spun it like a helicopter.
I mean, it almost came to that. No, I was very cool. I was not like my typical like loud mouth self, but I did tell him I thought he ran
Not
a garbage
like the time where you couldn't
operation.
get your phone activated.
I told him that it was clear that he didn't care, and the fact that he doesn't care means the people who work underneath him doesn't care, and if they don't care, then why should I care? And I was like, I'm not going to come in and earn you another penny if nobody cares. I was like, this is stupid, and I left.
Are you sure this is in Swine Lake? No.
I mean, it could be on the cusp of, off the shores of. But yeah, anyway, so I left a garbage job, so now I can get back to the business of like
talking
everything else that
cartoons.
doesn't matter.
We got naked people to murder.
Oh my God, please, can we? Can we? But anyway, yeah. So, I like to do
was
these
fun.
things myself because it's a lot of times workers get sort of shafted. And I've been a supervisor.
I just wanted to be like, your business sucks, and you whip out your dick and spin it like a helicopter, and then just leave.
and then just walk out.
Yeah.
I mean, in a perfect world, James. In a perfect world. But it's like I like to do these things myself. I know they do have those people who go into like large corporations. They I think they call them like corporate hit monkeys. is what they call them.
Hell yeah! 'Cause we're talking hit monkey. I was gonna say people in big corporations still are whipping their dicks out, spinning like helicopters.
I mean, just look at the WWE.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not far fetched. I dropped my lighter. I can't smoke. Oh, there it is. So I can smoke this joint. But
James,
we're talking Hit Monkey season 2.
You are off the fucking rails, kid.
I am off the rails. The buy one get ones are amazing. If you're ever in Brooklyn, hit the Myrtle Pub. Not everyone, because I don't want my favorite spot to get blown up. But go in increments. Break it up. Check it out every once in a while.
No more than 5 of you at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Never more than 5 of you at a time. And if they see you coming, 2 of them have to leave, right?
Exactly.
I know how things work, sir.
It's actually the only time I've ever gotten a public drinking ticket, because it's down the street for me. So if I don't finish my beer, I just take it with me, walk home. And then the fucking one time there's these fucking cops chilling down the block, and I don't notice them at first. And then I thought I was slick. I had it in my jacket. I walked past them. I was like, sick. The cops didn't notice. I walked for another full block, wait to drink it. And then as I drink it, that's when I noticed the cops were following me the whole time, waiting for me to drink the beer, to be like, what are you drinking?
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. And leave it up to a bunch of cops to that feels like entrapment.
And they were trying to get me to admit also what I was drinking. I literally made them pull out their flashlight and inspect my beer, because they were like, what are you drinking? I was like, I don't know. And they're like, what is it? And I was like, I don't know. It's a drink. I don't know. And then they had to pull out a flashlight and fucking turn the can around and inspect it. And I was like, you're gonna do the work. I'm not telling you what I'm drinking.
I love how your answer is I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just
I played
drinking
the fifth.
thing. Found it by a garbage can. I don't know.
But if I didn't drink it, I would have got away with it. But those fuckers followed me and waited for me to drink it.
I bet in reality you thought you were a block further than you were, and you were only one step past them, and you stopped, and you were like, ha ha ha.
Also very true, thinking that I just fucking got away with it, There's also recently, the last ticket I got recently, because, fuck New York City in a lot of ways, but I'll jump turnstiles whenever I want, because fuck this city. Our mayor is embezzling money. I'm like, I don't need to give it any more money.
Right.
So, I'll jump a turnstile whenever I can. And the last time I jumped a turnstile, granted, I had also a few drinks in me. And I looked both ways, didn't see any cops. I hopped the turnstile. And literally, I'm not even joking, my feet, as they're, hitting the ground, I noticed that these cops were, waiting, halfway through the stairs, in the perfect spot, basically. If you would jump, you would see them, and they fucking and then I land, he looks at me, I look at him dead in the eyes, and we both pause. Nobody does anything, and I'm both frozen. At least I'm frozen. And then I'm like, all right, what do I do? And then I bolt out, and I go back, and then I scan back in. I paid for it and scanned back in. And then he fucking pulled me over and gave me a ticket, and I was like, "Fuck! I should have just left." If I would have just left,
literally just enough time to figure it out, James.
But I told him, I was like, "I paid," and he was like, "I saw you jump." I was like, "But I paid." He's like, "You already jumped," and I was like, "Fuck!" But if I just left and walked to the other stop, I would have been fine.
You would have been a-okay.
Yeah.
That's
he
the
would
whole
have chased
thing.
after me.
I mean, I get it though. Down here, we don't have any good public transit, at all.
And I get spending money on public. We should spend money on public transit. But when you're raising money for the subway and your mayor is also embezzling money, it's hard for me to give more money to the subway that's not getting fixed,
And isn't it the L that's always down?
No, the L's been pretty good for a while, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it has its issues, and it's like, yeah, why the fuck am I paying for it when you're just gonna fuck off and take money? You know, like fuck you.
See, and the one reason why we can let this New York talk slide tonight is just simply because it is heavily featured in Hit Monkey 2.
It is,
In
yeah,
Hit
because we're
Monkey
talking
Season
Hit
2.
Monkey Season 2 in New York City. No more Tokyo. Man, I do love Hit Monkey. I honestly like the first season, dude. I fucking love Hit Monkey. Like, to me, it's like the quintessential show that I want to watch ever, where it's just a monkey who's just a straight monkey. He's not a magic monkey. He's not anything special. He's just a fucking monkey who learns how to be a hitman, and then he can fucking kick ass and take out a corrupt government. It's amazing. Plus, you get some Marvel superhero bullshit in between that.
Well, you get all the ghost stuff, the magic stuff.
Yeah.
You get a couple of like costumey characters. Yeah,
but
sure.
Season 2, man. So like, I do really like this. I at the end of the day, I do like this season. I think it's really good. I don't think it's as good as season 1.
Well, okay. So I did not go back and watch season 1. All right. I just picked up on 2. And I'll tell you this, it had me pretty well. There's I want to say it's around like maybe episode 5 or 6. I drift out a little bit, but like I thought the ending was pretty hard. I thought the ending was very
actually,
hard.
Like, I know we're skipping. I hate the ending, dude. That's what actually like really kills it for me.
Oh, okay. So this is where we're gonna massively disagree. Anyway, it brought me back in the first one. I think the addition of the the Hitman Collective, I think that's very funny. I love that.
Yeah, I love that
think
Monkey
it's great.
joins Bryce's like Hitman Collective, voiced by Leslie. I don't remember her full
Leslie
name.
Jones.
Leslie Jones. Yeah, it was hilarious, and I like all that. I love how it starts off. I love a lot of it. I think that my main gripe of this season in general, actually, I think there's too much magic going on this season. I don't feel like the first season had that much magic. It was like kind of magic, then it was political corruption. This season was like literally the villain is magic. Like that's what's happening.
So, and there's a couple of really good episodes. But see, okay, I'll explain it like this. To me, it felt like a natural progression. I can see where a person could be like, it's too much hocus pocus. Okay, fine. I got you. Whatever, cool. But I think it's episode 4 when they're doing like the boxing stuff and they get the guy who
Can slow down time. That was a cool.
Who can
episode.
slow down time. Yes. I loved that. And especially when they're showing off how he does sort of what he does and they're in the fights and it's that little skinny guy. It's like the little Nintendo man versus King Hippo or whatever.
Yeah.
And like he comes in with that uppercut, everything goes green. He can still move and he just boom.
And you have to eat the mouth guard with the mucus in it just to like stay in the same time frame. And it's smart, it's beating a guy you can see 2 minutes in the future with a guy you can slow down time, like, and then it evened it out where it was like, oh, I can't stop him from not seeing the future, but I can even it out to a point where everything happens at once, which is a really cool way to approach that.
And I love how quickly he ages when he has to do it.
Ages fast.
And then,
that dude was like, oh, I'm an old man, fuck you, I'm not doing this anymore.
And the whole like just the back and forth with him and Bryce about the lawyers and the whatever,
which is also awesome because it shows you how Bryce has literally no friends at all.
None.
Like not a single person he's ever had in his life gives a shit about him at all.
Every single fucking one. He has blown them all off. All
even
away.
This guy he's like, oh, we're cracking jokes, we got names for each other, we're friends, and he still would fuck him over at the end of the day.
In a heartbeat. So the one bit of magic that like I sort of had problems with. Like I don't mind that they have all right, so we have to get there. Like the big bad this season is Satan.
Yeah, which is also I do like the beginning of it where Bryce is in fucking hell and then like he's like, oh, he's burned alive or whatever, and I feel like in a way you think maybe Bryce would be in some weird like heavenish kind of right, like he wouldn't totally just being tortured, but it's like no, he's been a fucking horrible human being for his entire life.
From head to toe, from beginning to end, he's horrible.
Yeah,
he's horrible. He's a likable horrible,
but he's
like
horrible.
He is likable, but at the same time, terrible person. And not just all the murders, like mostly the murders, but not just the murders.
Abandoning family and lying to people, and
you know what I mean. So like,
so yeah, he's getting tortured by the fucking devil, literally getting burned. Forever burned.
And then he makes this Faustian bargain, right?
Yeah.
Like he can he's got to go back, but it's to gain his form permanently, or the devil wants what he thinks is his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking.
He also wants more souls because the devil's like, oh, he was like, I can get Monkey to fucking murder a bunch of assholes and.
Yep. And I can just take their souls all day. Which, if we fast forward, I can't remember if it's episode 3. It also might be 4, but midway in there, somewhere in the mids, there's that whole big library scene. Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's when like the chick goes crazy with the sword and starts. They're like, we have to keep it low key, and then she suddenly goes crazy and murders everyone. Yeah.
Yup. And then she basically, for lack of a better term, hulks out and splits the guy right down the middle.
Hell yeah.
Like that was rad.
That's the shit that I love. That's why like I think ultimately I don't love it. I really enjoyed the season. I just feel like story wise, like I don't know, maybe it was a lot going on, maybe because I felt like they didn't like for me, I don't know if the creators of the show know if they're getting a third season or not. So, like, I'm watching this second season. I'm like, is this going to last? Like, I don't think they know where they're going. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the first season had a kind of a direction. And this season's like, oh, shit, we have a second season. Are we going to get a third one? And then they're kind of, like, adding things. And they're trying to figure out where they're going.
And what it could be.
Yeah.
So the one thing, like, and I like it, and I get why, but it's like the second you put a clock on anything is when you always know that's going to have some sort of deep ramification.
We're always going to get to the last 1 second of that clock. It's such a filmmaking trope. But I mean, I also kind of love the clock countdown. You know, it's like, oh, we know where we're going.
So Bryce gets 48 hours to exist as a human.
Yeah. Which also was confusing because he was like, oh, I can switch to a ghost and that stops the clock.
Yes. Yeah, that stops the time. So that's the thing. It's not 2 days. All you get is 2 days. It's you have 48 hours to use as you see fit as a human.
Yeah. Because that one where he gets fucked up and he's like, oh, I just wasted 12 hours sleeping.
Because he passes out drunk.
Yeah.
That's his first night. He realizes that his life is still horrible. Like his daughter still hates him. Everybody hates him. He's a terrible person. He goes to the bar. He just gets shit lit.
So I was thinking this. So let's say, I don't want to put it as your... How do I put this? Is it so? Let's say it's like you, Ben Johnson, have now had a tragic end to your life as it is right now, right?
Right.
Now you make some deal. Let's say it doesn't have to be the devil. You know, it doesn't have to be evil. You just have 48 hours to be Ben Johnson. What would you do?
Wow, it depends on who's left. Obviously, I would want to spend as much time with Jen and the dogs
Yeah.
as I could.
Yeah, you have things that care
obviously.
about you. I don't know what I would. If it was me, I think I would get drunk at least for 10 of the hours.
Oh, James, I would get like that's the other part.
That's
of
how
it
I would
is-
end it. I wouldn't start just immediately getting fucked up, but the last like 10, 8 hours, party time. Like I'm just fucked
You're
up.
just gonna go back out. You're gonna go back to being a ghost. Like, let's go hard,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the worst that could happen? Yeah. So if it wasn't, if I wasn't living out like a, like what do you call that? The sort of like the Flash at the end of the at the new Justice League or whatever, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's the Flash and his old lady, and he goes back to his old lady again, and he keeps going back there. It'd be a lot of that. I know that, but if that weren't an option, if that
Yeah.
were not an option, I would definitely come back and like bother you. I would definitely, but we
You
would
do an
do
episode
this.
of Totally Toonular.
We would do this one more time.
We do a Married with Ben and James.
Yeah, wow. We could pick back up on season 1.
Yes. Episode 5.
But like that's a whole yeah, that's a question. Do you do something you've never done? Like, do you try to mend fences, or are just as a ghost? Are you like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the one place I've
Because
never
like
been
the
before?
easiest option, right? Which is like I said, the last like 10 hours. Like, yeah, I want to party, fucking eat, and drink everything that I can because these are the last like 8, 10 hours of my life. But then like before that, I think I would go to either a dog park or
Yeah.
a place that has a lot of puppies. Like I just want to be in a room with puppies at least for like an hour.
Yes, like 110% yes.
I just want to
Yes.
just wrestle some fucking dogs. Be like, "Bleh, bleh, 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 bleh."
And then I know there's a point where you're gonna like manifest inside like a ladies' locker room.
Well, that's the last that's part of my last 10 hours where I'm gonna fucking party and eat. So like this is not fucking, not partying, not eating. You know?
So, well, then here's another question for you. Do you use any of that time to try and like right a wrong or like fight for the greater good somehow? Do you use it to like prevent a World War III?
That's interesting. I mean, we don't have any perception of the future or past. Like, right? We just come back as a ghost in the current present.
In the present,
So
yeah,
like,
you
I
have no
couldn't
idea.
necessarily do anything that would prevent. Like,
Well,
I
but
don't
let's
think I
say-
could affect like world war or world hunger, or
But James, like, listen, 5 minutes on the news, they're going to tell you who the big bad is. Do you know what I'm saying? And then do you like go and manifest in that country and fight for a thing that you believed in as a person?
But I guess
Like-
like if it was me current James Boylan, who has now died tragically from
Yeah.
however, and I came back, like I said, the last 10 hours that's dedicated to fucking eating and drinking. The hours prior, if it's currently right now today, first off, I would go to find out what the most recent Sum 41 show is going to be because they're on their final tour.
Yeah.
They're on their final tour right now. So if it's like nowish, finding whatever show they're going to, seeing that room full of puppies.
Yeah,
else
I would definitely take 2 hours out and catch a clutch show.
Yeah,
Yes,
I would
100%.
whatever savings I'd have, I'd buy the most like expensive toy that I've always wanted to just own and just stare at. You know?
Now, but here's the thing: are you using your 48 hours consecutively, or are you spacing them out over time?
That's so deep, bro. I'm too fucked up for that.
Are you
That's smart though, because I didn't think
I-
about it. Like when he, like especially later in the season, when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna save my last 2 minutes for your like wedding and child." I was like, "Fuck, that's so smart." I never I didn't think of that.
30 seconds to pop in and say I'm proud of you, and
Yeah, and then
pop
bounce, dude. That's insane. Ah, that's
Like,
a lot.
That's
I think, like,
that's heavy.
I think it's
but see,
because
and
like
that's
I'm
why I
bad
dig
with
the
also
ending.
like spending my own money. That I think like I would blow all my time in like the 48 hours.
just
like,
go straight, go
yeah,
straight,
like,
go
I think
hard.
I would just do everything I've ever wanted to do in 48 hours, and then
See,
that'd be
man,
it.
I don't know, because for me it is one of those things where it's like, if you do play it right, okay, you take 2 hours to see your favorite band. All right. You
Yeah.
take 2 hours to do that. Boom. Now we're down 46. Right. Like you're spending time with family, loved ones, whatever. Like, who knows how much of that takes up? It takes up everything. But if you take all of that out of the equation, like, do you start to pop up for 30 seconds in places that you never got to visit while you were alive, just to say you could see it? Like Piccadilly Square.
I guess
in
there's
London.
a smarter way to play out, because you can do like 30 seconds here, 2 minutes for this thing, and an hour for this.
Go get an ice cream at the North Pole or whatever. You know what I mean?
You know what I would
Like,
do? Because I don't know how to play mahjong at all, but my grandmother loves mahjong, and yeah, if I would come back as like a person, I would like somehow learn how to play mahjong just so I can play with my grandmother for like at least an hour.
Spend your time as a spirit learning, come back
Yeah.
to players, sit down, walk in the room with a set,
Yeah.
kick her old ass at mahjong,
Mahjong?
and then
That would be awesome. She'd be so mad and happy at the same time. She'd be like, "James, you accomplished a thing."
but that's a heavy quandary. So yeah, once he gets to that like last 2 minutes, I think you're right. It is it's a hit and a half, man. It makes you think.
Yeah. And that's the
love
stuff that I thought was really compelling, and I dug about this season a lot. I just, like I said, to me, it was just too. I guess I didn't like the big bad. That it ended up being, I guess, like spoilers, like the crew that. I mean, of course, it's the crew that like Monkey's now like friends with, and they accept him, and then he's gonna
Yeah.
learn that they're actually bad, and Bryce is really his friend. Like whatever. Like that's the shit that I was like, fucking whatever. Like I don't know. Like I didn't find as intriguing or that interesting or cool.
Yeah, but you see, here's where I gave it like a level of forgiveness. Is like it is just a monkey learning.
No, it is just a monkey.
It is a monkey having
because he
to
is
learn
just
to-
a fucking monkey.
He's just a monkey. It's
Because there's
even
an
his
episode
name.
too. Remember, there's like the fucking demon. What are they called? They're not the acolyte. What are they fucking called? They're
Oh my god, it starts with an A though. You're right. Is it not? It's not the acolyte.
no, that's that's a terrible Star Wars show. I don't know. But yeah, it's like some bullshit. But that person, demon person, whatever, elite, whatever, can control animals, right? And then there's
Yep.
a scene where he's like, "Oh, you're a monkey that you think you have this like human empathy and emotion, but actually you're just a fucking monkey and I can control you." And then does it until
Yes.
Monkey realizes that he is a monkey that has this extra feeling and emotion for some whatever reason, you know?
Yes. So I'm doing a quick Google search right now to see if I can find the name. But regardless, it's like
Well, that's the cool shit that I love. Like that's saying at the end of the day, Monkey is just a fucking monkey doing this stuff.
But they also the big bad inside that group takes him through time. He takes both him and Bryce through time.
Oh yeah,
at the
that
end
was like
as
I guess
well.
I kind of missed that a little bit because that happens like really fast, doesn't like?
It-
Like, 'cause suddenly they're like, "Oh, we're like in a different time period," and I was like, "What?" And then it was like next scene they're like back in this Manhattan or whatever.
But see, when he's taking him through time, the idea that it's like you have this empathy for man, but you know what has man ever done except take you take you away from people.
Which is
or
true.
take people away from you. Mankind is the root of all evil.
Which is also like why I think, oh man, so this kind of goes into why I don't like the ending of this, because the ending of, I don't want to jump too much ahead, but the ending of it, right? Bryce is back to life and Monkey is a ghost, which to me sets up what, like, Bryce is now the forefront of this show, and like when I see stuff like that, it's like, isn't that the whole point of the show? Is like, what, like, Monkey is constantly debating in this like life of like, am I a monkey? Am I now living in a person's life? Like, do I like have to care about how, like we were treated as fucking like beings in the past, to like how all the monkeys are being treated? Aren't I now at a different level? Aren't I now in like a better priority? I don't know. I'm like drunk and rambling, but I think I'm getting to a point, if it makes sense.
Oh, do you?
Do you get what I'm saying at all? Do I make any sense?
I do. I dig what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like again, that's sort of like what I think kind of what attracted me to it is because it does get a little more heady. You know what I mean? It really does. And I dig the notion, though. The show is called Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, they leave you on a cliffhanger where your lead character is dead and now a ghost. Right?
Yeah.
And basically the sidekick is now living in corporeal.
And I said, we talked about it earlier, Bryce is funny, but like him as like a main focus, though, is so, like, it's not.
James, Bryce is, if there is a season 3, I promise you, he dies either right at the beginning or right at the end of the first episode.
And then what? Monkey just comes back to life.
They're gonna find a loophole.
Yeah,
they're gonna find a loophole because Monkey. I don't think a smart writer would take you through like Bryce's journey with Monkey. You know, where he can come alive part of the time, part of the time he can't. I don't think they're going to do that. But I don't think they can leave him dead. I think there's going to be some other weird kind of black magic-y stuff. And
but I guess that's the kind of stuff I don't even like. I just don't want more magic. I want like less magic. Like that's what I love about the first season, right? It's like Monkey's taking out the Yakuza, and they're like, "What the fuck is this monkey doing?" Getting into all this politics bullshit, and then there's some like mask, like magic stuff in between it, you know?
Yeah. And it's Boone. Boone is the guy that becomes like the cross up between
that's the guy who had like, he was in a boy band, right? And then suddenly he was recruited by like the government.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't care for that either, man. I was like, whatever. You're in a boy band, cool. Why would you switch careers? Like, if I was in a boy band making a fuck ton of money, why would I just join the government? Unless the government forced them to do it. I can't remember if they said that or not.
The group, James, is called the Aldermen.
Aldermen.
I finally found it, the Aldermen.
It was close, kind of.
Well, acolytes, aldermen, sure. It's all the same thing. But no, you understand, you know that like for years, the big conspiracy theory is that the government is cloning and using clones to make like boy bands and shit, right?
The clones?
Yeah. That's it. Like, look it up. Like half of Hollywood is supposed to be clones.
But nobody looks that like cloney, like the same.
No, they take them when they're
like
kids and make clones of them
like
so they can torture and then get rid of the kids. But they put the clone out there to do the work, and that's when you see them sometime like misfiring in public.
Oh, so you mean like there's like in the?
I mean, when
let's
Britney
say in the
Spears was
lifespan.
15,
let's say like in the lifespan of NSYNC, right? You telling me that there was like at least like 8 different versions of each of the dudes that were different clones.
What I'm saying
Let's say like Justin Timberlake did something wrong, then he died and they replaced him with another Justin Timberlake.
What I'm saying is the Hollywood elites took a like 10 or 12-year-old Justin Timberlake while he was on the Mickey Mouse show.
Yeah.
Cloned him, put the clone back out on the stage, and then kept the little boy hostage.
So that little
Kept
boy
the-
is still like somewhere.
Somewhere locked up or dead in a ditch.
You know what's crazy? Because you never watched Young Justice, have you?
No.
This is a spoiler for anyone listening, and Ben Johnson, hopefully you'll forget about this whenever we actually do watch Young Justice, because this is a big plot twist in season 2 of Young Justice.
Okay.
Spoilers. But the big twist is that Red Arrow, Arsenal, who is, Green Arrow's sidekick, Speedy, Red Arrow, that character.
Yeah.
So the first episode of Young Justice, they all are like, it's like Robin, Aqualad, Speedy, and then Kid Flash, which Speedy is not the Flash's sidekick, which is also weird, but whatever. They all go to like join the Justice League. Justice League's like, no, you guys are fucking teenagers. You can't be part of the league, whatever. Speedy gets really pissed and leaves. He's like, fuck you, adults. You can't tell me that I'm just a dumb teen, and becomes his own superhero, Red Arrow. Now, fast forward season 2. You know what's fucked up? You find out Lex Luthor had kidnapped Speedy before that as a kid, like kept him in this underground lab where he cloned him and kept him in this like machine as like and cut his arm off to clone him. He used that DNA, and then the Speedy and Red Arrow that we knew throughout the show was actually just a Lex Luthor clone this entire time.
See, bro, that's what they're doing.
What the fuck?
But
they're
with
telling us
child
right
stars,
here in our own shows.
That's what they're doing with child stars, though. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They're programming you so you know that that's happening, and you turn a blind eye so that you think it's like science fiction. It's not science fact.
Damn. You know what? This is why we need to talk about Young Justice, because there's actually a whole season 2 after that about like teenage trafficking. It's like wild for like just this weird. The show gets deep in such a fucking cool way.
So do you like there are literally times where I'm
This
like,
blows my mind, dude. We were telling me, I was like, holy fuck.
you're like, this
They've been
is what's
telling me
going
forever. Like this has been in front of me my whole life.
So, but you look at like a P. Diddy situation,
Yeah.
right? You look at what's going on there, and it's like, it's been a joke for 1,000 years. It's been on TV for forever. It's all been a thing to where everybody's been like, oh, this can't happen for real, whatever. It can't happen for real. It's all made up. It's just on TV.
I mean,
it's just
even
jokes.
like last year, I'd watched all this. I think whenever the last Scream movie was coming out, I was like, I'm just gonna watch all. I felt I was in a Scream kind of mood, So
Right.
I was watching
Right.
them all. But Scream 3, dude, like the producer is like, in hindsight, is obviously based off Harvey Weinstein. But when you watch that movie when it came out, you're like, oh, he's just a dirty producer, whatever, haha. Funny. Like we all just kind of had that mindset, and then now it's like when all that shit came out about Harvey Weinstein, it's like, oh, like these dirty
no
producers
way.
are fucked up. Like it's different. It's like, no, they are actually.
This is so real.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Same-
oh
yeah.
shit, this is so real.
Yeah.
Um,
And we've
But-
been talking about it forever, but now it means it's.
but now
we get
it's
it.
actually a thing, and it's one of those deals where there's a lot of stuff they talk about. It's like tulpas, right? And I think we've talked about tulpas here before.
Tulpas?
But
You
yeah.
remind me. I don't know what that is.
so Slender Man is a tulpa.
Oh, like an internet creepypasta?
So not just that, but a thing that we seem to have pulled out of our fiction and out of our stories, and have sort of, in a way, manifested in reality,
Like
right?
religion?
Very much so. So those two chicks that tried to kill that girl,
Yeah.
right?
I thought they
and
did
said
kill her. Did they
Slender
not
Man
kill
told
her?
them to. they basically were worshiping this thing as though it were real, right? As though it were a real thing, to a point to where they literally pulled it into their reality. So it makes me wonder if, like, the more what came first, chicken or an egg, right? Were they human trafficking first, or were we cracking wise about it and talking about it? And then all of a sudden everybody was like, well, if they're going to say we're doing it, we may as well do it. I don't know. I have no idea. But all I know
human
is,
trafficking, that goes back to what, centuries?
well, of course, yeah.
I just watched Gladiator, you know?
But, bro, the fact that it's actually Hollywood, I think that's what's fucked up.
That is what's fucked up, I know.
That's what's really, really
That's the shit that, like, fucks me up, too, with, like, Vince McMahon. It's because, like, we always were like, Vince McMahon's a horny old man, whatever. You know, like, it was always this character. It was a thing that people would just talk about, or just, you know, like, it was just this thing. Oh, he's just Vince McMahon. He's just horny old dude. And now it's like, no, he was trafficking this fucking chick around the office and shitting on her face. Like... What? But bro, you know, that's real.
Also, the other crazy thing about the whole Vince McMahon thing is that, like, he was putting it on TV himself.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's how he got away with it. Because I don't know, it was like, this is the character. This is just Vince McMahon.
It's the character, Mr. McMahon.
Because, you know, you always talk about being the '90s on TV, and, like, you know, I kind of got the end of it, like the late '90s, early 2000s still, where, like, I don't know, it was very, like, weird time in, like, entertainment, where I feel like it's, like, now I feel like I look back at stuff and you're like, oh, that's actually, like, kind of gross. I don't know, you know what I mean?
I do entirely know what you mean. But
especially
still,
in wrestling. If you look at the fucking Attitude Era, you know what I mean? Even though it's, like, the funniest, sometimes, to me, it's sometimes the funniest shit ever, but then it's like, no, this is a problem.
James, it is often the greatest shit ever. It's terrible. And then you look at, like, a lot of the China storylines and the way they're talking about China when she first shows up. Like, it is horrible. Terrible. Like, you could not say that about somebody on television at all and remotely get away with it today.
I sent it to you recently where it was, like, Triple H in, like, India or Pakistan. That was just on Raw or whatever pay-per-view. They aired that shit, dude.
Right. And it's like, so I get so conflicted, dude, because I see shit like that.
It's also hilarious.
And it is so desperately offensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, I don't know what makes me laugh so hard about it, other than it's like, I can't believe they're getting away with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But which was, like, also, like, not what the point was of it also, that's why, like, I always feel conflicted with it, because when people are like, oh, that shit was offensive, that's what it was, right? Like, that's what the Attitude Era was about, is to be so absurd and fucked up and offensive.
And so ridiculously in your face and offensive and out there. And it's like...
But to know it's a show, you know, it's like to kind of... There's...
And that's where wrestling's different. And that's where I think... now that we're like, 30 years into the advent of, like, reality television.
Yeah.
Right? Because wasn't that like 94, 95 was the first year of Survivor?
Survivor Series?
No, Survivor, the show.
I think so. Yeah, you're probably right.
So the second we got to, like, reality as television, there's a lot of, like, learning curve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's why, you know, Vince Russo, who was, like, the head writer of the Attitude Era, literally would watch Jerry Springer and be like, we need to make this with wrestling. I mean, that's why, I mean, and I know we're talking about Hit Monkey. I'm not going to keep talking about wrestling, but that's what makes wrestling the greatest thing ever, because it can morph and be what it needs to be with the time. I mean, that's what way it is now, where it's, like, very much in social media, and they're playing storylines that way, and, like, you know, wrestling exists in the time frame that, like, It's like art imitating life. You know what I mean? In that way, it's always going to be like that.
And the last thing that I'll ask about this at all, because I am curious about your opinion here. What do you think of Raw going to Netflix? Do you think it'll be good or bad for
I think it's going to be amazing for the business and wrestling. I think it is a monumental moment that we are not really understanding yet. Like, I think television as what we know it is officially dead. I think, like, the cable television, people are already not having cable, but, like, the things that keep cable television alive is it's Raw that airs on USA every Monday since long as I've been watching wrestling. The news and NFL or just sports, you know, in general. And a lot of those sports are already going to streaming. The fact that Raw is going to be exclusively on Netflix, I think, like, television as what we know it is literally changing forever.
It is gone.
Yeah.
It's going to be gone, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just the idea of, like, the networks that, like, I don't know, what I grew up with is over. It's gone.
And even you grew up with networks that were outside of my realm of networks.
The idea of reruns aren't going to exist anymore.
No. Yeah. It's never going to be
You're never going to be a syndicated show anymore. You know, like, things like that aren't going to be a thing. Like,
it's all going to be limited series.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything outside of like a Game of Thrones, like a big epic thing that will continue.
Yeah. It won't. I mean, shit will be big on streaming, you know, but, like, the idea of, let's say Married with Children comes out now, and it lasts the same amount of seasons, right? It'll never be, let's rerun these episodes again over and over again. People can just watch those episodes now when they want.
Whenever they want to.
And that's not how I used to watch shows, and it's just, it's... And then Raw going, dude, that's it. And now they got live television, it's over.
Do you really see a show going more than, like, 5 seasons, though?
No, and that's the hard part, because sitcoms are also dead. You know, look at that 90s show over in 2 seasons. And now it has to be, this limited series, deep, you know, movie, 5 seasons show, whatever.
Yep. And that's, I think, the farthest you can push it. And you really start to see, you've been watching that fall.
Yeah.
Since Community went to Yahoo.
Yahoo, dude. I remember that. I literally went on Yahoo because of Community.
Yeah, for the first time in how many years since you went on Yahoo before that?
Yeah, exactly. I was always an AOL guy, actually.
I mean, see? And here's the other part that's fucked up when you start looking at like a Hit Monkey. All these different studios can try out so many different things. They can keep trying and pumping out. Oh, this one didn't stick. This one didn't make it to the 3rd. This one didn't make it past 4, you know, and they just move on to the next thing. It's like the next plate gets put right in front of them.
Well, that's where I go back and forth with when it comes to streaming and whatever. Like the momentum of now, like Raw going to Netflix is like, I feel like there's more opportunity in a way where, like, people can now have the freedom with that. Because now Raw has the freedom without being on cable, right? It never has to now live up to those expectations or those guidelines that they used to have anymore. Not to say that it's going to be the Attitude Era, but they don't have any rules necessarily anymore, you know? And I think that can mean a lot to, like, most shows or things that people are putting out there. But then, also at the same time, we're going to lose a lot of that, I feel like. Yeah, and it's just going to be these, like, 5 seasons, 2-season things, and...
Well,
and it's not going to be that. I don't know. We're going to lose a lot of heart. We're going to lose a lot of attachment to, I think.
Yeah.
To characters.
Well, it just feeds into the lack of attention span. That's the other thing, right? And also, when you have so much choice, like there have been shows that I've liked on like a Netflix or like an HBO that I forgot they were doing a second part of.
And I was thinking about this Yeah, this dude, I literally had no idea there was a second season to this show, and we talked about the first season on here because the show was awesome. Literally had no idea this came out in July. Not even a fucking clue. You know how many times and it's like such a weird thing also to scroll through Netflix and be like, man, I have nothing to watch.
That's the problem with too much choice.
Yeah, I don't like having a choice.
Oversaturated with choice. You see what I mean?
I wish there was a shuffle button of some sort. You know, I wish there was like a shuffle button.
You know, and like sometimes your Netflix will pick out the next thing for you if you fall asleep, like watching a movie, and you wake up and it's like two movies later.
You know?
Yeah, but there's nothing like flicking the channels. Or
I remember it was like, and it was like, I can't remember. Actually, I don't remember if it was like late night or early morning. It was one of those times, right? It was either really late or early. I was watching cable, and somehow I stumbled across flicking through channels like from dusk till dawn. It was like right when the fucking cop comes into the restaurant and like he's about to like right when he gets shot in the face. Like that's when I like first tuned in. I was like, oh, this is like cool. And then I watched the entire movie and it was like just on cable. And that's how I was like, man, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And
yeah. So
and just finding it, I wish like just we can do that now. But no, it's like you have to just search for it.
You have to find it. And it's like you do have, and it's getting brought up here in the chat. Sabrina's making excellent
Succession
points.
is one of the biggest shows, but Succession I actually feel like is kind of the last of like that HBO. Like I don't know what other House of Dragon's pretty big, but Succession felt like the end of like an era in a way.
But HBO does it fairly well, but then HBO also likes to fuck you, or at least they did in the early and mid 2000s with shows like Rome and Carnival and
well, that's
even
why now,
Deadwood.
well, now they fucking they just commit to a show. Like it's like one show. You know, I feel like HBO used to be like, because that's the thing now, right? It's an app. It's not the network that it was, where it was like, here's our network. We're gonna make Sopranos, Carnival, and The Wire or whatever. You know, we're gonna make these three shows. That now it's like we're an app, so we're gonna make one show a year, essentially.
Right. So with Rome, Carnival, and Deadwood, Carnival made it 2 seasons. I think Rome made it 2
Deadwood
seasons.
was 4 or 5, right?
Nope. Deadwood went 3 seasons in Maine, and they left you on a cliffhanger for like almost over 10 years. They leave you on a cliffhanger, and then they picked it up with like a 2-hour movie to wrap up the story.
Is Rome awesome? Rome seemed pretty cool.
Rome is rad. Rome is a good show.
I just watched Gladiator 2, bro, and I want more Rome in my life. I want to see some more fucking crazy Rome shit.
Yeah, for real. And it's like that's the thing. I like original series on new streamers are a challenge, I think. And it's like it's finding an audience that's not already splintered over a billion times. How do you bring in like new viewers if you don't have commercials during the day pumping it?
And then they can't get more viewers, so they just start selling their content to other streamers.
Ugh.
It's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, it's like, and that's the shit that I'm worried about with Raw, is that it doesn't, like, Raw and USA feels consistent. You know, it's like Raw's never going anywhere. Raw on Netflix feels like I could lose Raw one day.
Like, Hitmonkey is not, as good as it is, it's not like appointment TV. You're not going to sit there and, it's Friday night, it's Hitmonkey night, unless it was like ABC in the mid-90s and it's TGIF. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, that's not a thing anymore either. And that's why I always get this argument with people, too, because people love binging stuff. And I was like, I need my weekly fucking television. Like, I need to get excited for a thing. I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday night. I get to watch whatever fucking Hitmonkey episode. Like, yeah.
So I'm an old man, and I lean a little left in a lot of my thinking, and I think they do good pieces. Last week tonight, the John Oliver news show, right?
But
So-
your balls lean a little to the right.
My balls do stick to the right a little. Yeah. It seems like a false lean, but the dong itself actually hangs straight. It's the balls that stick to the right.
So you lean to the left, your balls lean to the right, but your dick is straight down the center.
Just straight, just straight out like a little nubbin, you know. But like the thing there is like with last week tonight, I've got like a Monday morning situation, right? So
Yeah.
I don't watch it Sunday night, but I've made it a habit when during the season to get up on Monday mornings while I have my coffee. I watch that for my news.
Yeah, I haven't watched it and since the last episode I watched was the Boeing plane episode, which is pretty wild.
Dude, so much of that shit is wild. But anyway, to bring this all back to a cartoon.
To Hit Monkey season 2.
I liked Boone as a villain. He sort of perfectly like he very much has a Swamp Thing feel, a Poison Ivy feel, and a Florentine
Yeah, I do
Man
like when he
feel.
like took over Manhattan. It was just like this human plant Manhattan.
So wild. Could you imagine walking down the streets in New York City and it's like dead people that are trees?
Trees.
What's his name?
That
The
sounds awesome.
Scottish guy that goes out. It starts with an S. It's the shifter, the shitter, the something.
The shitter.
The little dude that gets out and he says, "I'll give you some time. I'll get you some time." And then he immediately gets killed and like turned into mushroom food.
I just remember the cop that is like freeze and then like turns into a fucking tree. Yeah.
Like, no, this was a guy who he was in The Good Guys. They didn't like him. Leslie Jones was like, she yells at him at one point, "Don't ever use my comms. Don't use my comms." And he does, and it's a problem. But then he goes out and like sacks himself. What I really dug in that death is like, so the tree man basically like chokes him, infects him, and then on his body as it's rotting, you see the decayers coming out of him, and that's like mushrooms are specifically fungus are a decayer. They feed off of dead things. So immediately he's dead, and immediately he's so dead that he's fucking sprouting mushies. Like, it's nuts.
And that's some shit, so, you know, some artist or whoever thinking about. They're like, oh, we need some of that in there.
Dude, but you know me, like any sort of like plant-based stuff, like weirdly I am into. Weirdly I am
And you've
into.
got, I keep telling you to watch Swamp Women, but I don't think you've watched it yet.
I have yet to watch it, no. No, I have not. I know it'll be on my list. I'm in Oregon for like a week, you know what I'm saying?
And when
I
you're
don't
by
have...
yourself in a hotel room, just watch Swamp Woman.
No, I'm actually going to be at Jen's mom's house.
So watch it with Jen and her mom.
It's just that's the other fucked up thing. So with Jen's work, basically the only time she could get off would have been like one day, and we did the math, and for her to go, it would have been like an additional like $600 with like dog boarding and plane ticket and everything. So it's just going to be me and my mother-in-law, and we'll watch Swamp Women.
Do it. I'm telling you, Ben, you're going to love and hate everything about it. You're going to be like, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life, and also this is why did I ever watch this movie? Like, literally in the same thought process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it's
but like I don't know, I said that's what like, I don't know, I still wish this show stuck to just like Yakuza bullshit or like just underground like crime nonsense and not magic plant stuff, you know?
well.
I like when
I
the
mean,
magic it feels like sprinkles on a cupcake rather than just like the dough.
a little magic goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're not even getting to one of the aldermen, the old hippie who'd given it up. When he kills
Oh, he blows
himself,
his braids out, yeah.
And then his wife fucking takes over the staff.
Yeah, that's the one she controls. The hit monkey. I was talking about earlier.
Yep. It is. It's unreal.
Yeah.
All of it is. I don't know, dude. Like, that's the thing. Like, I see what you're saying, but I also, like, I did not mind it. I was like, I was into it. I was very much into it.
I wasn't not into it. I guess, I don't know.
What she was wielding was very much like the Havoc staff from Masters of the Universe.
Oh, I know. I was thinking of Skeletor the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I loved that. I don't know. The janitor, every time he saves the day, like, I love the janitor. Whether he's speaking as like a wizened philosoph, he's talking.
Yeah,
to,
that's the whose daughter becomes friends with, right? Bryce's
Yep.
daughter.
Yep.
Which is also great. I love that his daughter is just like, oh, I love true crime docs, so I'm just going to be obsessed with death.
So, him and his daughter, I like, and maybe it's because I am old now. Maybe it's because I'm old. I dig that little bit of the arc, right? Like, I don't mind his realization that he was a shitty dad. I don't mind getting into those sort of weeds. Huh?
I don't mind it either. I just don't like the end.
You're like, give me more monkey.
Yeah, more monkey, less Bryce.
More monkey. Well, that I can always agree with, because I also love monkeys.
Oh, dude, that's what Monkey is. Literally not only the name of the show, but he's the crutch. He's what the show should be about at the end of the day. There's all this bullshit going on, but then he's a monkey dealing with it.
He's a monkey in the city.
Exactly. Where I want more monkey in the city than less magic. Yeah.
But I did like what they did with. So we got Monkey's origin story, but we really didn't get like Monkey's history. And when he is watching himself as a little baby monkey from the car accident to where he gets scooped up, and then how other monkeys didn't want him, but one monkey kept him and saw the value in it. The other monkeys were like, leave this damn thing, And it's funny to get into the psyche of a monkey. And
it's also a very animal thing to do. I mean, animals will literally look at one of their kids and be like, nah.
Yeah,
I don't want
it.
to.
It's not this one, and then just flick it off.
Sometimes they eat them.
on the opposite end of that, though, you see it all the time on your socials, like a tiger and a puppy are best friends.
It's just because the tiger like looked at it as like a mother at some point in its life, and there's like one story of literally it's like a tiger, lion, and a bear. As like there's like the only record history of them that like these cubs ever together that got along for this long in their lives for like
without one of them turning on the other.
Yeah,
dude, that kind of shit to me is like.
And I've seen at the San Diego Zoo, they just had dogs with these like fucking like is it the jaguars or whatever. It's not tigers, but it's some other big cat thing, and
right.
And they just had this dog just living with them because they just respected them. They looked at them in a certain way.
And they're like, yeah, you guys are all right.
Yeah.
You guys can chill. There's a thing that always comes across my feed like every month, 2 months, something like that. But I will always put it in my stories. It's this elephant trying to sleep with its trainer.
Oh, yeah, you share that all the time. I love that shit, dude.
That one, that just tickles me for whatever reason.
Nah, man, elephants are the coolest, dude. I want to cuddle with an elephant.
Could you imagine? That would be great.
My dream, which can never happen because I would get mauled to death, but I've always wanted to just cuddle a bear so bad, dude. I want to cuddle. I want to cuddle up to a bear so badly, but. I would die, so I can't.
Well, maybe. I mean, find a sun bear. Sun bears seem fairly non-violent.
I don't trust any wild bear or any bears. A panda, I would love to hug a panda or a polar bear, but I would die.
Do you know what's been coming also through my feed? I watch a lot of happy animal videos and then a lot of videos of like animal shitting.
Yeah, I watch a lot of animal murder. Animal
but
Kingdom's
there's
wild.
this one that it keeps popping up, and it's like, how are pandas not extinct? And all it is just pandas falling off things.
Yeah, I remember like 10 years ago having this, like me and my friend having this conversation about like how pandas are endangered because they just won't fuck. Like they're just so fat and lazy that they just want to eat bamboo and just not fuck.
And dude, there's the thing is like in this one, it's literally like a panda will be sitting eating his bamboo and he's leaning back to enjoy it, and then he'll just fall off of whatever platform he's on.
And I've heard that bamboo also gives them like no nutrients, like at all.
No.
Like they just like to eat it. Like it gives them, so they're like dying because they're not eating real food, and then they won't fuck.
And then they refuse to fuck.
Yeah.
They refuse to. It's not a thing that's
That's
gonna
what makes you
happen.
want to just cuddle up to them. They're just so lazy and dopey and fluffy.
I get mad in this show sometimes because there are all these awesome opportunities for Monkey to throw his poo, and he never does.
No, he never throws his poo. He should throw his poo at least once. Come on.
At least once. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if they like make fun of him. Like if you're bullying, if I'm a conscious monkey, and you're gonna make fun of me for being a monkey, at some point I'm just gonna throw shit at you. Be like, "Am I a monkey now, bitch?" You know, like.
All day long, James. All day long. How can I be more monkey? And it starts with like flinging poop. If you're going to make fun of me for being who I am, I'll be who I am at my core, and I will throw shit at you. Like, that's it. But like, I thought we were going to get a moment that we didn't get. And I kind of wanted it, and they really telegraphed it, and I think they missed an opportunity. Who is it that Monkey jumps on in that final episode that he goes over the bridge with?
Oh, the chick that he killed her uncle, which also is a thing I don't understand, but continue before I drunkenly yell about my thoughts.
Right. So, you know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
When he jumps
The chick from
on...
Olivia Munn from the first season.
Yes. When he... is it Aikiko?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
The Acolyte.
When he jumps on her, what I thought we were going to get was a full-blown, like, that monkey that ate that chick's face. Like, I thought we were going to get some, like, full-blown face-ripping rage out of Monkey.
We should have got that when he was possessed, too.
Dude, there are points for it that it didn't happen, and it bums me out.
That's like, spoilers, by the way, if no one's seen Gladiator 2. There's a fight scene in the new Gladiator where he fights some monkeys, and he gets into a fist fight with a monkey. And, like, it's a cool fight. You're watching Gladiator fight a monkey in the Coliseum, but the dude takes on a monkey and wins, and, like, how is this monkey now ripping your fucking face off, bro?
Exactly. How is the fucking monkey not just shredding you, ripping an arm off, tearing
that
an
monkey
ear
that ripped
there?
that chick's face off? What? That was all of like not less than 30 seconds. You know, like they just jump on you, they rip your face off, and they fucking like they're way stronger than we could ever imagine.
Ever imagine?
Yeah.
Ever fucking imagine, dude. They've got what is that type of strength they like to call it?
Monkey strength.
Okay, good. I thought it was a different word. I thought.
You want something more racist? Is that what you're asking?
No, but it's another R word.
Is it with the hard R?
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
what Stiller goes.
Yeah. I got you.
All right.
Special
Anyway,
people strength.
It's terrible. Horrible joke. But anyway.
But so monkey should be. But that's why I dig the idea of a hit monkey because, like, yeah, he's got monkey strength and he can rip people's face off of, and he knows how to use a gun.
And
Yeah.
nobody's expecting a monkey to rip their face off.
And that's what fucking oh man, that's what makes the first season so sick because nobody, the Yakuza out of anyone is not expecting a monkey to ruin their shit, and then it becomes, wait, it's a fucking monkey that is dieharding us right now, like, you know, it's like it's a
monkey dieharding us.
Yeah,
I gotta die hard. Hey. Anyway, but like, I don't really know. Like that's the other thing. I don't really know what else to say about it. I think it's a good continuation of the story. Yeah, it sort of ebbs and flows. It gets way more magical. They could have dialed that back. You're not wrong there. The future fight to me was one of the best moments in the series. I thought that future fight was great. The way they were,
I think all the
sort
fights
of
are pretty
weaving in and
awesome.
out of time.
Yeah.
And how the guy straight up bails on him in the middle of that fight. He's like, nah, I think I've done enough. I think I've done enough. And he starts to let him get their asses whooped until he secures the giant wad of cash. You know what I mean?
Literally,
Like,
it was, and then it's when, yeah, exactly. When he's like, when Bryce is like, all right, I'll give you my last chance to, which is also a good Bryce moment with him and Monkey, you know, for him to give that moment up, to give the cash up for his daughter to help Monkey is, you know, that's a good moment for Bryce.
It's a big moment for Bryce. It's a big, big moment for him, dude. Are you kidding me? Come on. Like,
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis is born for this role. You know,
100%.
That dude, he's like I can't imagine anyone else playing this. Even if they did like a live action movie, like it has to be Jason Sudeikis.
And like he's one of those that comes from like I guess sort of that generation of comedians and actors. Like a lot of times.
He's got like
he
that
reminds
Ryan
me
Reynolds
of a better Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like a much better Dane Cook.
It's funny. I was talking about Dane Cook last night with our friend of the show, Stevie, and I was like, remember when Dane Cook was like the biggest thing ever?
Ever.
He had like 4 movies, like 100 stand-up specials. Like he was just everywhere.
And not good.
I do remember. I mean, I haven't watched it. I actually don't remember the name of the movie. There's a movie where he's like works at a Costco or something. That was pretty funny.
He was in an episode of Workaholics.
I don't remember that.
Was really good. That was actually really, really good. Yeah. But
he had this movie called Good Luck Chuck, and I used to think that I liked it, and then I realized I just liked it because it had a lot of boobs. Like I wasn't, like, you know, it's not that good.
Is that not a reason to like something?
Yeah, but I feel like Jason Sudeikis is kind of like a Ryan Reynolds, where like their stick is like hilarious, but can also be annoying,
right?
Given the context of where they are. And I think like Jason Sudeikis as Bryce like kind of fits, and I find that amazing. Employee of the Month, that's the Dane Cook movie. That movie's pretty funny. They built like a fort inside like the one of the shelving units in Costco.
Yep.
I haven't watched it in fucking probably like 15 years, but I remember it being funny.
So. But where do you stand, I guess, sort of, where do you stand sort of overall with this thing, James?
All right, well, if we're going to get there, I'm going to give it a
Success.
Well, it's pretty low. Wait. Let's do it again.
Success.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. Yeah, I gave it a success. Because ultimately, man, I love Hitmonkey. I love Monkey. Such a just compelling character that's just a fucking monkey. It doesn't even talk. He just makes noises. Like, he's literally just a monkey, and that's what I love. I keep talking about what I love most about this show. I just think that, like, I think season 1's just better. And if we don't get a season 3, I don't feel like I'm that upset about it. But I just hate the ending, really. I really, at the end of the day, I hate that it becomes now Bryce's story and Monkey's a ghost. Like, I just don't like that. I feel like Bryce should have to sacrifice himself to go to hell to, like, save Monkey and to save his daughter in a way, rather than him surviving makes him feel like just the same kind of douche without learning a thing.
But see, well, I think he's learned a lot.
No, he has learned a lot. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. He's learned a lot.
But don't you think there's gonna be something? Monkey's coming back. Monkey.
But doesn't it feel like they're just like a shitty redcon if they just switch them? Like, it doesn't, like, I don't know.
Nah, I think there's a good way to tell it in story, bro.
How many episodes would you keep Monkey as a ghost?
I'm telling you, if they don't change it in the first 5 minutes, it's by the end of the first season, or the end of the first episode of the third season, Bryce will be dead and on his way to find Ghost Monkey. That's what I think. I think that's how you set up third season.
So you think do you think third season is going to kind of consist, like, on Earth, or is it going to be, like, in hell?
It's going to have to...
I guess they did set up the devil, but I guess it does make sense to just put it in hell. But then that's where I'm like, it's too magic-y. Like,
See, I think it might be consistent, what do you call it? Like, consistent sort of storylines, or two storylines that coexist is what I mean. They coexist. So you'll have his daughter working with the hit people on Earth. And then I think the two storylines will probably merge by, like, episode 5, if they do it right. Because it'll take the entire team for the last 4 or 5 episodes to make it happen.
All right. You kind of sold me a little bit.
So, see, I can tell you, hire me, Hit Monkey, please. Please hire me.
Well, what do you give in this show? You didn't give it a, what do you...
I'm saying a success again all day.
Success.
I think it was a success.
Yeah, the Hit Monkey is just so fucking cool, dude. I mean, like, whoever came up with this comic at Marvel, I'm, like, jealous, to be honest. Like, I wish I could just have this, make a movie about a monkey just fucking just annihilating people with guns and wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. No, dude, like, I get it, and it does. Sometimes when you see a really good concept executed really well, like there is that tinge of jealousy. It's like, why couldn't it be a weird deer that hit? Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Hundreds of Beavers yet?
No, I still haven't watched that either.
Yeah. I watched that movie. I'm like, you guys are fucking incredible. Fuck you. Like, I can make this fucking piece of shit. Fuck. God damn it. You guys are too
Do you know what has taken up some of my watch time?
What?
It's embarrassing. One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Jen, we watched an episode earlier tonight. It's like the thing that we watch now
you're
together.
Still watching One Tree Hill.
We're watching One Tree Hill.
How far?
1 to 2 episodes at a time.
How far?
Yeah.
Well, there's, 8 seasons?
8 or 9, something like that. But we're in season 4. I only started watching at the end of season 3 with her. So I'm actually doing, like, my own, like,
hey, that's how I got into Game of Thrones. I started on season 3 and then worked my way.
Yeah, and I've got to work my way backwards to catch up to where I am now. Because, like, 3 things just dropped in the last episode that we watched that you have to have knowledge from, like, early season 2 on that I do not have. And I looked at Jen and I was like, what are they talking about? And she's like, you're playing catch up. But yeah, Hit Monkey is a success all day. I hope we get a season 3.
I hope so. I mean, I didn't even know if we're getting a season 2 because, wait.
Success.
But yeah, because, Hit Monkey was made prior. So, like, no, Marvel now television is all Disney Plus, whatever. Like, Marvel television used to be a different thing before Disney Plus was streaming because we still had television, That's why we had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter. we had Daredevil on Netflix. Like, it was this thing. And then Hulu had a deal with a bunch of shows, and only 2 of them got made. And two of them was the what's his face? It was the MODOK show with Pat Oswalt was MODOK, and then Hitmonkey were the only 2 shows that got made out of like they announced like 5 of them. And then so I didn't think Hitmonkey was gonna get a second season because they put out the season because they just already made it and they just put it out. That's why I was like, what the fuck? They made a second season with like the same people and all like the same animation. Like, that's just, I didn't think that was going to happen.
See, and I fucking like, and MODOK was the thing that got made.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is that?
You know, Kevin Smith was making Howard the Duck too, and that got canned. It was like, I don't remember all of them, but they were supposed to form. It was like Hitmonkey, MODOK, Howard the Duck, and like 2 other shows that I don't remember. And they were going to like form into what they called the Offenders. And that was going to be like a thing they were building to.
I wish the Howard the Duck had happened.
Yeah.
I really do. I wish that had happened.
Disney bought Fox and then took over Hulu and then became all the television.
And everything good that has potential goes away once again.
Yeah. It is weird to have Disney Plus and being able to watch like Alien and like Alien Romulus, you know?
You know? Which, oh, by the way, it'll probably happen later. Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow before I leave. I'm going to have to, you're going to have to check an email for me at some point.
I will. Are you not watching How I Met Your Mother? Because someone's watching it on my Disney Plus, and it's not me.
That is not me, no. Not at all. Not at all. Not yet. I haven't even logged in yet. I haven't even logged in yet. But James, that leads us to all this talk about watching. What are we watching for this next
Man, we
week?
got a whole other week. Man, hopefully I'll be I can survive to make it. Hopefully I'll be probably a lot more sober next week. Hopefully.
I don't think you're gonna make it through tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm already fucking crashing. I was gonna go get another Tecate, and I was like, nah, I shouldn't do it. So next week, yeah, what the fuck? Or next week. So there's another show. I had no idea had a season 2. And it just came out, and it's fucking Arcane.
Yes.
The League of Legends show we watched forever ago.
Yes.
And it was really great. I honestly don't actually remember a lot about it because I'm also drunk. But
I remember very little about season 1. I will have to watch a recap. I just remember it being a very, like, a really, really, like, gorgeous to look at show. Like, I remember that. And I remember Jinx.
Yeah. And there was
The
some
lead
shit.
character.
There was, like, the Undercity and the top of the city. And
Yep.
and the animation just being the most top tier animation ever.
So we're doing season 2.
I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, we're doing season 2. I want to watch it. Because it's also like, there's times where I'm like, oh, season 2 came out. I'm going to watch it. And I was like, I shouldn't watch it. I got to wait until we do the fucking show. Like, why am I
we talk about it.
Yeah. I'm not just going to
Until
watch
we're
it on
going to
myself.
sit here and talk about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's fucking get out of here.
On
Let's
that note,
fuck.
James,
All right, let's get out of here.
go find that other Tecate.
Tecate, hey, our sponsor for this.
All right. James.
Yeah, shout out to Myrtle Pub. All right, let's get out of here. Arcane, season 2, Hitmonkey. Be a monkey, kick some ass. All right, goodbye.
Season
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch.